In the deep blue expanse of the Indian Ocean, just south of the Indian subcontinent, lies an island that has for centuries captured the imagination of travelers, traders, and poets. It is a teardrop-shaped landmass, a place of extraordinary natural beauty and profound historical depth. Known to ancient Arab traders as Serendib, the origin of the word serendipity, and to colonial cartographers as Ceylon, this is a land of lush rainforests and sun-drenched beaches, of mist-covered mountains and vast emerald green tea estates. This is Sri Lanka. From above, it appears as a jewel, a vibrant mosaic of landscapes packed into a compact and life-filled space. The light here has a unique tropical brilliance, filtering through the dense canopy of the jungle, shimmering on the surface of ancient man-made reservoirs and casting a golden glow upon the white sands of its coastline. But to look closer is to discover a civilization shaped by 2.5 millennia of recorded history, a culture woven from a rich tapestry of faiths, ethnicities, and traditions. It is a society that has weathered the storms of colonialism, conflict, and natural disaster, yet has retained a spirit of quiet resilience and enduring grace. This is a story not of ancient ruins, but of the living, breathing culture that surrounds them. It is a story of connection to the fertile land that provides, to the deep-rooted faith that guides, and to the families and communities that form the very heart of its existence. This is the story of daily life on the island of tea and tradition. The rhythm of daily life in Sri Lanka is gentle yet purposeful, dictated by the steady rising of the tropical sun and the subtle shifts of the monsoon seasons. The day begins early, with the first light of dawn. In the villages, the morning air is filled with the sound of sweeping, the rhythmic whisk of a coconut frond broom, the idola against a dusty courtyard, a simple, meditative act of preparing the home for the day ahead. In the cities, like the sprawling commercial capital of Colombo, the pace is quicker. The streets slowly come to life with the rumble of buses, the cheerful, distinctive chime of a mobile bread vendor's tuk-tuk, and the steady stream of people in crisp uniforms heading to work and school. But regardless of location, the morning is anchored in small, dependable rituals. For many, the day starts with a moment of quiet reflection, the lighting of a coconut oil lamp at a small shrine within the home, a gesture of gratitude and a prayer for a peaceful day. This is followed by the first cup of tea, strong, sweet, and milky, a cherished national ritual that warms the body and awakens the mind. The local market, or pola, is the vibrant heart of the community. It is here, amidst the colorful, neatly stacked pyramids of fresh vegetables like snake gourd and bitter melon, exotic fruits like rambutan and mangosteen, and fragrant spices, that the social life of the town unfolds. The air is thick with the scent of fresh cilantro, the earthy smell of turmeric, and the chatter of friendly bargaining. The exchange is about more than just commerce. It is a moment of connection, a chance to catch up on local news, to inquire about a neighbor's health, and to share a laugh with a familiar vendor who knows just how ripe you like your papayas. Life is lived in close communion with one another. The concept of the individual is gently softened by the primacy of the family and the community. Homes are not isolated fortresses. They are open, welcoming spaces where neighbors move freely, sharing food, childcare, and conversation over a low garden wall. In the villages, everyone knows everyone, connected by a complex web of kinship and shared history that stretches back generations. If a family is celebrating a wedding, the entire village contributes, helping to cook, decorate, and serve. If there is a funeral, the community gathers to support the grieving family, sharing the burden of sorrow. This pervasive sense of community fosters a powerful social safety net, an unspoken understanding that one is never truly alone in times of joy or hardship. It is a life lived at a human pace, unhurried, relational, and deeply rooted in a sense of collective belonging. Tradition in Sri Lanka is not a relic of the past. It is the very air that people breathe, a living force that shapes identity, values, and the rhythm of daily life. The island's culture is a rich confluence of its two largest ethnic groups, the predominantly Buddhist Sinhalese and the largely Hindu Tamils, each with its own distinct language, customs, and artistic expressions, yet intertwined by centuries of shared history. The island's diverse tapestry also includes a significant Muslim community, descendants of Arab traders and burghers of European descent, each adding their own unique threads to the national identity. The gentle teachings of Buddhism are woven into the fabric of Sinhalese society. The local temple, with its whitewashed stupa, ancient Bodhi tree, and serene image house, is the spiritual and social center of the village. It is a place for religious observance, community gatherings, and education. On Poya days, which mark the full moon of each month, families dressed in white flock to the temples to observe religious precepts, listen to sermons, and meditate, creating a palpable sense of peace that settles over the entire island. Festivals like Vesak, which commemorates the birth, enlightenment, and death of the Buddha, transform the country into a wonderland of light, with intricate handmade lanterns or kudu illuminating every home and street corner. This faith fosters a culture of gentle tolerance, a deep respect for all living things, and a philosophical acceptance of life's impermanence. In the north and east of the island, the vibrant traditions of Hinduism hold sway. The air is filled with the scent of incense, camphor, and jasmine, and the sound of devotional music emanating from ornate temples or kovils. Their towering, intricately sculpted gateways, or gopurams, depict a pantheon of deities in a riot of color. Festivals like Thai Pongal, a harvest festival giving thanks to the sun god, and the spectacular Nallur festival in Jaffna are powerful displays of faith, color, and community devotion. Across all cultures, a profound respect for elders is a cornerstone of the social order. Age is equated with wisdom, and the guidance of parents and grandparents is sought and cherished. Younger people will often greet their elders with a bow, touching their feet as a sign of deep respect. Family is paramount, and its bonds are strong and enduring. This pride in cultural heritage is quiet but immense. It is visible in the graceful drape of a sari, in the intricate athletic movements of Kandyan dancers, and in the enduring craftsmanship of local artisans. It is a pride born of a long and storied history, a civilization that built magnificent cities like Sigiriya and Anuradhapura, and developed sophisticated systems of irrigation that transformed the land. This tangible connection to the past is not something that is just read about in books. It is a living heritage that is honored, celebrated, and passed down with care from one generation to the next. The Sri Lankan economy has, for centuries, been rooted in the fertility of its land and the bounty of the sea. The word Ceylon is still synonymous with tea, and the island's identity is inextricably linked to the industry that has shaped its landscape and its history. In the cool, misty highlands, life revolves around the rhythm of the tea estates. The work is demanding, a skill passed down through generations, primarily by women of Indian Tamil descent whose ancestors were brought to the island by the British. With nimble fingers, they pluck the two leaves and a bud, the tenderest part of the plant, filling their baskets with the raw material for one of the world's most beloved beverages. Their labor is the engine of a multi-billion-dollar industry, yet their lives are often lived in modest conditions within the estate communities, a world away from the bustling cities. Along the island's extensive coastline, from Gali in the south to the fishing villages of the north, life is governed by the tides and the seasons. For generations, fishermen have set out in the pre-dawn darkness in their traditional outrigger canoes or oru, their livelihoods dependent on skill, courage, and an intimate knowledge of the sea. On the south coast, the iconic stilt fishermen practice a unique and patient art, perched on slender poles embedded in the reef, a testament to their ingenuity and connection to the ocean. Onshore, a bustling ecosystem of fish markets and processing centers supports the coastal communities. Agriculture remains the backbone of the rural economy. The landscape is a patchwork of verdant rice paddies, where farmers cultivate the nation's staple food using methods that have been practiced for centuries, often working in harmony with the ancient irrigation systems that are a marvel of early engineering. The cultivation of spices, like true cinnamon, for which the island is world-renowned, as well as pepper, cloves, and nutmeg, continues to be a vital part of the rural economy. But the economy is also a story of change and adaptation. In recent decades, tourism has become a major economic driver. As travelers are drawn to the island's unique blend of culture, nature, and hospitality, this has created new opportunities, with small guest houses, restaurants, and tour businesses flourishing. In the cities, a modern, service-based economy is growing, with sectors like information technology and apparel manufacturing gaining prominence. Yet Sri Lanka faces significant economic challenges, including the pressures of national debt and the struggle to create enough opportunities for its educated youth. For many, life is a careful balancing act, a blend of traditional livelihoods and the pursuit of new avenues in a rapidly changing world. Sri Lankan food is a vibrant and aromatic reflection of the island's history and its natural abundance. The cuisine is a complex and delightful fusion of indigenous ingredients and culinary influences from India, as well as from Arab, Malay, and European traders who once plied these shores. At the heart of the cuisine is rice and curry, a deceptively simple name for what is often a magnificent feast for the senses. A meal typically consists of a mound of fluffy rice served with a variety of curries, each with its own unique flavor profile. There might be a fiery fish curry, a creamy lentil dish known as dal, a sweet and sour eggplant curry, and a tangy jackfruit preparation, all seasoned with a masterful blend of spices like cinnamon, cardamom, cloves, and chili. Coconut is the lifeblood of the kitchen, used in all its forms, from thick coconut milk that forms the base of most curries, to grated coconut in savory relishes called sambols, and oil for frying. Home cooking is the soul of the culinary tradition. Recipes are not written down, but are passed from mother to daughter, a form of knowledge learned through observation and practice. The process often begins with the creation of a unique curry powder, with each family having its own secret blend of roasted and ground spices. The kitchen is the warm, fragrant heart of the home, a place of nourishment and togetherness. For special occasions, kiribath, or milk rice, is prepared. Cooked with thick coconut milk and cut into diamond shapes, it is served to mark new beginnings, from birthdays to the new year. The culture of tea is, of course, central to social life. A cup of tea is the universal symbol of hospitality, offered to any guest who enters a home. It is the pause in the middle of a busy workday, the comforting ritual at the end of a long day. While traditional food remains the heart of the cuisine, the culinary landscape is diverse. Bustling street food stalls offer savory snacks like crispy hoppers, bowl-shaped pancakes made from fermented rice flour, often served with an egg cooked in the center, and kotu roti, a uniquely Sri Lankan dish of chopped flatbread, stir-fried with vegetables and meat. Its distinctive, rhythmic clatter of metal on metal is a familiar and enticing sound on city nights. A shared meal featuring ingredients sourced from the local market or a family's own garden remains the truest and most authentic taste of the island. To truly understand Sri Lanka is to understand its profound connection to the natural world. The landscape is not merely a backdrop for life. It is an active, living presence, a source of sustenance, inspiration, and deep spiritual significance. For an island of its size, Sri Lanka boasts an astonishing diversity of ecosystems. The Central Highlands are a world of their own, a cool, misty landscape of rolling hills, cloud forests, and cascading waterfalls. This is the land of tea, but also a place for quiet contemplation and breathtaking hikes, like the sacred pilgrimage to the summit of Adam's Peak, revered by multiple faiths. In the lowlands, dense tropical rainforests like the Sinaraja Forest Reserve, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, are treasure troves of biodiversity, teeming with endemic species of birds, insects, and plants. The island is a paradise for wildlife. National parks like Yala and Udawalawe are home to majestic herds of elephants, elusive leopards, sloth bears, and a dazzling array of bird life. The relationship between the people and the elephants is ancient and complex, a mixture of reverence and conflict as human settlements expand into traditional wildlife habitats. The coastline, which rings the entire island, offers another world of natural beauty. From the palm-fringed golden beaches of the south, like Bentota, which attract sun-seekers from around the world, to the wild, windswept shores of the east, the ocean is a constant and powerful presence. The monsoon rains are a defining feature of the climate, transforming the landscape twice a year. The arrival of the monsoon is a dramatic event, a life-giving force that replenishes the reservoirs and nourishes the rice paddies. This environment shapes an outdoor way of life. The warm tropical climate invites people to live in the open air. Verandas and courtyards are treated as extensions of the home, places for socializing, relaxing, and escaping the midday heat. Life here is lived in deep appreciation of the wild, magnificent, and ever-present beauty of the natural world. For all its ancient landscapes and timeless traditions, Sri Lanka is a modern, developing nation, a place where the rhythms of the past coexist with the accelerating pace of the 21st century. A journey across the island reveals this blend of old and new. The train system, a legacy of the British colonial era, remains one of the most beloved ways to travel. The journey through the hill country is considered one of the most scenic in the world, a slow, magical ride through a landscape of tea plantations, misty mountains, and small, charming villages. On board, vendors walk the aisles selling spicy snacks and sweet tea, and strangers share stories as the breathtaking scenery unfolds outside the open windows. On the roads, the public bus is the workhorse of the nation, connecting the smallest villages to the largest cities. They are often crowded and driven with a unique flair, their horns playing musical tunes, but they are the lifeline of the country, an affordable and essential service for millions. The three-wheeled auto rickshaw or tuk-tuk is a ubiquitous and iconic sight. Navigating the bustling city streets and quiet country lanes with remarkable agility. The tuk-tuk driver is often a source of local knowledge, a guide, and a friendly conversationalist. In cities like Colombo, the signs of modernity are everywhere. Gleaming new skyscrapers are reshaping the skyline. Modern shopping malls cater to a growing middle class, and a vibrant contemporary arts and restaurant scene is emerging. High-speed internet and mobile technology have connected the island to the wider world in ways that were unimaginable just a generation ago. A farmer in a remote village can now check market prices on his smartphone. Yet, this modernity exists alongside a more traditional way of life. It is entirely possible to live in a quiet village where life is governed by the seasons and ancient customs, yet be just a short bus ride away from a bustling city with all its modern conveniences. This unique balance allows Sri Lankans to enjoy the peace and strong community of rural life, while participating in the opportunities of a globalized world. For the young people of Sri Lanka, growing up on the island offers a unique blend of deep-rooted cultural expectations and modern global aspirations. Education is highly valued in Sri Lankan society, seen as the most important path to a better future. The country boasts a high literacy rate, a legacy of a free education system that has been in place for decades. From a young age, children are instilled with a strong sense of discipline and a respect for their teachers. The school uniform, almost always a pristine white, is a symbol of this equality and dedication to learning. The pressure to succeed in national exams, like the ordinary and advanced levels, is immense, as these results determine a student's future path. For many, however, the journey into adulthood involves a move from their home village to a larger city to attend one of the nation's universities. This is a time of great personal growth, an opportunity to gain new skills, experience greater independence, and forge a path for themselves. But the pull of home and family remains incredibly strong. Many young people maintain a deep connection to their home village, returning regularly for family events and religious festivals. The great challenge for Sri Lanka is to create enough diverse and rewarding opportunities to keep its talented and educated young population on the island. Economic pressures and a competitive job market lead many to seek employment overseas, particularly in the Middle East and Europe. This creates a brain drain of skilled professionals and separates families for long periods. For those who stay, there is a passionate desire to contribute to their country's future. They are entrepreneurs, artists, tech innovators, and social activists, working to build a more prosperous and equitable society. They are a generation that is navigating the complex space between honoring the traditions of their parents and embracing the possibilities of a connected, modern world. The rhythm of day and night in Sri Lanka is a study in beautiful contrasts, a shift from the vibrant energy of public life to the quiet intimacy of the home. The daytime is for work, for commerce, for movement. The sun is bright, and the energy is outward-focused. The markets are hives of activity. The roads are filled with the sounds of transport, and the fields and factories are busy with the work of making a living. It is a time for productivity, for social interaction, for tending to the responsibilities of life in the community. As evening descends, a palpable change occurs. The fierce heat of the day softens, and a gentle, cooler breeze often blows in from the ocean. Life turns inward, toward the family and the home. As the light fades, the towns and villages become still. The shops close, the traffic thins, and a sense of quiet settles over the landscape, punctuated by the chirping of crickets and the calls of geckos. This is a time for family. The evening meal is the anchor of the day, a time for everyone to gather, to share food, and to talk about their day. In the homes, the soft glow of a television or the murmur of conversation replaces the noise of the outside world. For many, the evening is also a time for spiritual observance, for lighting the lamp at the home shrine, or for a quiet visit to the local temple. The Sri Lankan night is not one of loud entertainment. It is a time for rest, for connection, and for restoring the bonds of family, ready for the new day. Life in this beautiful island nation is not without its significant and persistent challenges. For decades, the country was scarred by a long and painful civil war. And while the conflict has ended, the process of reconciliation and healing is a long and delicate one. The echoes of the past still influence the political landscape and the relationships between communities. The economy, while growing, is vulnerable. The cost of living is a significant pressure for many families, and the country has faced periods of severe economic crisis, leading to shortages of essential goods and widespread hardship. The infrastructure, particularly in rural areas, is often strained, and there is a constant challenge to balance the need for development with the preservation of the island's fragile ecosystems. The debate around sustainable tourism is a serious one. How to welcome the visitors who are vital to the economy without overwhelming the natural and cultural heritage that attracts them in the first place. These are the complex, vital questions that the people of Sri Lanka grapple with every day, with a characteristic blend of pragmatism, patience, and an enduring hope for a more stable and prosperous future. So why do people choose to stay? In a world that offers seemingly endless possibilities, what is the powerful, invisible force that binds people to this small island? The answers are woven into the very fabric of daily life. They stay for the unbreakable bonds of family, for the comfort of living in a community where they are known, where their story is part of a larger, shared story that stretches back through generations. They stay for the profound sense of belonging, for the simple, priceless feeling of being home. They stay for the culture, for a way of life that is rich in spiritual tradition, in color, and in a warmth that is extended without reservation. They stay for the peace, for the pervasive quiet of the countryside that allows for a deeper connection to oneself and to the natural world. And above all, they stay for the deep, unshakable connection to the land itself, the misty mountains, the fertile plains, the endless ocean. This landscape is not just a place to live, it is a part of their identity, an ancestral home that is etched into their soul. It is a connection that is felt in the warm monsoon rains, in the shade of a coconut palm, in the specific taste of a mango from a childhood tree, and in the shared collective memory of a people who have weathered every storm. It is the feeling of having roots that run as deep as the foundations of the ancient cities. Sri Lanka exists in a beautiful and enduring balance between a past that is deeply revered and a future that is cautiously embraced, between the untamed wildness of its jungles and the profound gentleness of its people, between a quiet, spiritual rhythm and a resilient, unbreakable spirit. It is a place shaped by the monsoon winds, by the wisdom of ancient teachings, and by a deep and abiding strength that resides in its communities. Here, life is measured not in grand events, but in the steady, dependable turning of the seasons, in the warmth of a shared cup of tea, in the comfort of family, and in the simple, profound beauty of the everyday. It is a living testament to the idea that in a world of constant, relentless change, there is a deep and lasting power in a life that is grounded in community, in faith, and in the quiet, timeless rhythm of the land.